All right, guys, so today we're going to go over in a previous video I'd mentioned if your centrifugal switch fails in the motor, we have a new method of proving airflow or proving motor rotation. We can do that off of current sense now. And a lot of the ovens starting back in 2016, F version and newer, are already set up with a current sensor, but they're not actively using the current sense to control the call for heat signal. That's still controlled with a centrifugal switch. But you can update the software in the controls or replace the controls with the newer software, and then you can install basically a bypass wire in the control box, and that'll allow you to take the centrifugal switch out of the circuit. So the centrifugal switch in the main motor is a non-serviceable part. You can see it's this safety switch in here. So when the switch in this motor fails, you'll get a condition of the oven will not light anymore. And the reason is because that's what controls power to the ignition module. But with the current sensor in there, what we can do is we can actually use the current draw of the motor. The controller can detect that, and it can control the call for heat based on that current. So we do have a range or a threshold there that if it's above or below that range, it will turn the call for heat off, still for safety reasons. But yet anything in that range, it will run. So in the event that you have a motor that fails, or the switch that fails, instead of having to replace the entire motor for the switch, now you can just update the software and the controllers, and I'm going to show you where we can install this wire. So basically, if we look at the, this is going to be terminal strip 2 here. So it's on the left side, it's going to be the 5th terminal down. On this particular schematic, it's labeled as a 40 white high temp wire. In the control box I'm going to show you, it's actually a different, it's a red wire, and depending on what version oven you're working on, that may vary a little bit, so you'll need to make sure you refer to the schematic here. But basically, if you follow the wire, you can see what we're doing. This 40 white high temp runs over to the Molex, which plugs into here, which this is the main fan, goes through the switch, comes back, and it comes back through this up to terminal strip 1, and then that goes over to your ignition module, and that's what tells the ignition module, okay, the fan's running, now it has power, it's ready to heat. So we're going to go over with our wire to the control box, and I'm going to show you where to install this.